hello there. So when we left off, the last time we were reading, Mercy Watson to the rescue, the firemen had just arrived and they heard someone shouting for help. And you guys were going to make a prediction as to who that was. So let's read and see if your prediction was correct. Chapter 9. Ned and Lorenzo ran towards the call for help. They went into the Watsons' house. Help! Ned and Lorenzo looked up. They saw a bed hanging out of the ceiling. They saw Mr. and Mrs. Watson holding on to the bed for dear life. Guys, look at that. So the bed is falling down. The firemen are in another room downstairs of the house, and the bed is falling through. That'd be pretty scary. We are saved, cried Mrs. Watson. Of course we are saved, said Mr. Watson. Mercy has alerted the fire department. She is amazing, said Mrs. Watson. She is unbelievable. She is a porcine wonder, said Mr. Watson. Ned and Lorenzo ran upstairs. They picked up Mr. and Mrs. Watson. The Watsons' bed sighed loudly and crashed all the way through the floor. So, guys, they got him just in time because as they're getting them out of the bed goes all the way through the floor. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Watson, how do they think the fire department got to their house? That's right. They think that Mercy went and got the fire department, when in fact, Mercy went looking for cookies, right? All right. Boom! Mr. Watson looked at the hole where the bed used to be. I have always believed very firmly in the fire department, said Mr. Watson. As have I, said Mrs. Watson. As have I. From outside the Watsons' house came a squeal. Gotcha! Shouted Eugenia. So all of this is going on in the Watsons' house, and Eugenia is still chasing that pig. Let's read chapter 10. Ned and Lorenzo and Mr. and Mrs. Watson all went outside. Eugenia was sitting on the ground. Her arms were wrapped around Mercy's neck. Her cheek was resting on Mercy's back. Eugenia was breathing very loudly. Look at that. Eugenia caught her. This pig, she said, was on my property. We'd prefer that you did not call her a pig, said Mrs. Watson. We would prefer that you call her a porcine wonder, said Mr. Watson. After all, she did save us. She's a hero. She's a pig, said Eugenia. She started to cry. There, there, sister, said Baby. She bent over and patted Eugenia on the back. I mean, Eugenia did get woken up in the middle of the night thinking there was a monster at her window. So that's pretty scary. Mercy yawned. She was very tired. I guess that's it, said Ned. Yup, said Lorenzo. Our work here is done. Wait, said Mrs. Watson. It's almost time for breakfast. Oink, asked Mercy. That's right, breakfast, said Mrs. Watson. She kissed the top of Mercy's head. She looked up at the firemen. Do you boys like toast? So that is the end of chapter 10. So let's see, there are 2 more chapters left in this story that we will read tomorrow. I hope that you're really enjoying this story so far. I think it's a fun one, and there are several more in this series that we're going to be able to read too. Have a great rest of your day.